Michael Jackson became one of the most powerful human beings in the world, and they killed him. And when they killed him, just simple mathematics. He's getting ready to do the big show in London 50 times. God can't work one city 50 times. What made you think he could? And that childness in him, it never dawned on him. So he's insured. This is your show. So the insurance is on you, not the rest of the people. So they had him insured for $1.5 billion. Michael was killed at 2 o'clock in the morning from a laser.
Well, I thought it was because of the Sony thing. They wanted I believe there was some.
But that's because you don't have the information.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
I said he was killed by a laser. Huh? I just told you it was a bloody shirt in the money. Just public. All you gotta do is go look it up. Huh? Okay. I didn't come here to find out what you think.
No, I'm just asking.
No, you didn't. You say you thought. I'm not interviewing you. You interviewing me. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Huh? But you go do it. I respect who you gonna be. So don't sit here and tell me you thought it was the Sony thing. Huh?
Okay.
What was the Sony thing about? Tell my grandmother.
Well, my understanding was that he was going to get the Beatles catalog.
He already had it. Huh?
Okay.
He bought the Beatles catalog when his people told him don't buy it. He bought it for $48 million. When they killed him, it was worth $2.5 billion. Huh? Okay. With respect for what I don't want to hear what you thought. I saw the check, nigga. Huh? So I got to sit here and what you thought. Who cares? Huh? That's all I'm saying.
I understand.
The system, meaning the record companies, totally took advantage of it. But this is very important, what we're fighting for. Because I'm tired, I'm really, really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars. And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that. All the forms of popular music.
Some people find it odd that when we win anything in this game, we give praise back unto God. Well, in somebody else's game, any triumph makes us feel blessed. When it's your game, you make the rules, everything comes easy. All your friends are in key positions, so when you decide you don't want to play anymore, you never leave empty-handed. Can somebody say golden parachute? It's not your game. You didn't make the rules. Everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. Select few of us will do well. The majority will not. As a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. Let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you. You are a blessed people. You're the most talented on earth, and you are still grateful. That is why upon winning in their game, you always thank God.
Oh man, this one is gonna be a banger because there's no way so many celebrities can be telling lies on these label companies. There's no way so many persons can be telling lies on these insurance companies. I 1000% believe that there are schemes and systems in place that control your money, even when you're a celebrity. Unless you directly work for yourself and you don't really, have any relationship with a lot of these companies, then you can say, okay, you are the exception. But for a lot of the other people, like artists, they are tied to a label if they do sign to a label, because remember, you can do stuff on your own, but it's going to be harder. But you definitely can be successful. But that's the trap. That's the trap that they place that make it seem like it is impossible to do it on your own. So I want you guys to listen to the full video because it is far from finished. I want you guys to drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Drop a like and subscribe, show some love because this video is super interesting.
Gotta ask you, we a few weeks away. The Michael Jackson movie. You looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to the Michael Jackson movie, but me being a political scientist, Art, you know why I want to see it. And I want to see it to see if they address the truth of the murder. You feel me? Are they going to deal with the fact that the child accusations grew out of Michael Jackson's intent to purchase Marvel Comics? Are they going to tie them two together? Right? Are they going to tie the fact that him owning that Beatles catalog, which basically made him a 50% owner of Sony Records, had a lot to do with why he got unalived? Are they going to deal with that? Are they going to deal with the fact that the reason he went on tour or was preparing to go on tour was to pay off his debt to Sony so he would not have to give up his ownership of the Beatles catalog? My thing, are they going to deal with the truth of the threat Michael Jackson posed to the music industry? That's what I want to know. If they're not going to deal with the truth and they're only going to deal with the, the popularity of Mike, the impact he had on fans worldwide, don't we already know that? Like, I don't need to see a movie. I lived that. I lived Michael Jackson's life. I was a Michael Jackson maniac, Art. I had the gloves, I had the socks, the shoes, I had the jackets. We used to compete. I was named after Jermaine Jackson, by the way. You know what I mean? So I knew everything about Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? He's an August baby like me, but he's a Virgo, not a Leo. My whole room used to be Michael Jackson. So, I mean, I want to learn something new. I want to learn something new when I see this movie. If I'm not going to learn something new, I'm still going to support it, His nephew is playing him. That's a positive thing. Jermaine's son. You know what I mean? I'm still going to support it because I'm a Jackson's family fan. But if I don't learn anything new and if they don't deal with the politics of the murder, then I'm going to say this was kind of, not what I needed personally. Most people, all they want is the hype and the hoopla. But for me, I want them to connect some dots. I want them to, not only them, I heard Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler are possibly working on a Mansa Musa movie. And if they end up working on a Mansa Musa movie, Richest Man in History, I want them to connect the dots to the African discovery of America, Art. If you're going to do a Mansa Musa movie, connect the dots. And what I mean by that, Art, who was Mansa Musa's older brother? Abu Bakari II, king of the Mali Empire. And what did he do? He sailed to America in the 1300s, almost 200 years before Christopher Columbus. Mansa Musa doesn't even become the king of the Mali Empire, Art, if Abu Bakari doesn't decide to sail to the Americas himself, which he does, and he never returns. So Africans discovered America. Ramses III of the 20th dynasty came to America. Nico II of the 26th dynasty came to America. So if Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are going to do this Mansa Musa movie, and I hope they do, please do the connection between Mansa Musa and his brother, Abu Bakari II, being one of the first people in history to discover the Americas.
Hate him or love him, Umar Johnson is gonna come with some interesting points because I ain't gonna tell no lie. What he said about Michael Jackson is definitely interesting, and personally, I believe they ain't gonna address it. I believe they are not gonna address it. I could be wrong, but I believe they're not gonna address it. I believe they're not gonna address his murder. I believe they're not gonna address his child scandal rumors. I believe they're not gonna address the label conversation. I believe they're not going to address where he told his mom everything. I believe they're not going to address where he publicly spoke out how Tony is the devil, how he publicly exposed the music label. I don't believe they're going to address none of that. I could be wrong, as I said, I definitely could be wrong, and hopefully I am 100% wrong. This is one of the moments that I hope that I am 1000% wrong, because if they addressed it and address it truthfully, then that would be amazing. That would definitely be amazing. But the reason I believe they won't address it is because it's a controlled narrative, right? And if I recall properly, the persons behind productions and the directors and all of those stuff, they ain't like Michael Jackson people. Yes, his family is portraying him, but the directors and the producers, they ain't doing it just for Michael Jackson. Like, if you guys know what I mean, right? So those are the reasons I don't believe that we will see the truths and what we expect. And I do believe what we will mainly see is the popularity, Michael Jackson impact on the world, the superstar, the rock star, and so on and so on. Those are the things I believe will be highlighted more. But once again, hopefully I am wrong. I want you guys to let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your perspective. Do you guys agree or do you guys do not agree? Let me know down in the comment section. Remember to drop a like, my people. Drop a like right now. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe, my people. Subscribe.
I need y'all to do that so all these black people in America will stop telling people they Indians and Native Americans. They are Africans who came to America before Columbus.
Yeah, that would be a real good movie if they do it right. But you heard about how Janet, her and Jermaine, they got into it over the Michael Jackson movie? You heard about that? I think TMZ, they reported it.
They said allegedly Janet Jackson and Jermaine had a disagreement over the movie on the telephone. I don't know what it was over. Do she feel she should have been in it? Or maybe she don't like the way her brother Michael was portrayed in it. I don't know, because, Jermaine and Mike, and of course they love each other, they brothers, but Jermaine was always in his brother's shadow. He was always in his brother's shadow. And now that his son is playing his brother, I don't know. I don't even know if Jermaine had anything to do with the script, though. I don't know. But did he in any way misrepresent some of the history, which could have upset Janet? Or is she upset she wasn't in the movie? She was kind of young, but then again, she had her own fame while Mike was still on top. So I guess she could have been in the movie, but I don't know if she's directly relevant to his life story though. You feel me, Art? Like, my mother has 6 other children, 5 boys and 2 girls. And my father has an additional 4 daughters, right? That means we are 11 children strong on both sides put together. But none of them would be central to Dr. Umar's life story, though. You feel me? Like, I love my siblings, but they were not there when I went to Scotland school. They were not there for Millersville University. Like, I was out of the house pretty much since the 8th grade. And from K to 8, they were a little bit too young to understand my story, except my older sister, but she's a female, I'm a male, so we kind of were around each other, but we still had our 2 different lives. So, none of my siblings would factor into my life story. They were there, but for good or for bad, they really didn't factor into, me being who I am.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I always hear about this. I heard that, Jermaine, he was jealous of Michael Jackson's career. I don't know if it's true or not. I just, I'll be hearing about it, man.
You mean with regard to the movie or the history? I'm sure it was tough for Jermaine to deal with Michael's fame because not only was Michael younger, Jermaine went solo first, remember? Jermaine married Quincy Jones's daughter. He went solo first. So I think it was assumed that Jermaine would be the star, the solo star, even though Michael Jackson, the little boy, was the star of the Jackson 5. When they became grown men, I think people thought Jermaine would be the star because he married Quincy Jones's daughter. Remember, Mike was still with the Jacksons. He had not went solo. Jermaine went solo. So if Jermaine would have blew up, he would have been big before Mike.
Listen, man, I need y'all to let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Do you guys agree with Dr. Umar Johnson so far? Because even his points on Janet Jackson and Jermaine, Jermaine was always kind of sus. I ain't gonna tell no lie, but I don't have any solid proof to say he was jealous or not. But I guess you can assume that he was, even with what Umar Johnson was saying, right? But I don't have any solid proof to say if he was jealous or not. But I am just really interested to see the movie. I'm really, really interested to see the movie. And I'm really interested to hear what Janet actually has to say about the movie. Like, fully about what she has to say about the movie, man. When the movie comes out, I would love to see a reaction. Yes, she may know what is happening behind the scenes. She may get some sneak peek or whatever, because remember, she is Janet Jackson's sister, right? So she definitely could get some insider information, but I'm not sure if she knows fully or what is really in store. I'm not sure, but I would love to see her reaction to the movie itself, because this movie is going to be big. This movie is definitely going to be epic. It's going to be big, and a lot of anticipation is around this movie. Come on, this is Michael Jackson we're talking about, man. We're talking about the biggest superstar to ever live. Yes, the biggest superstar to ever live. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, man. Also, let me know your thoughts and perspective, man. Let me know what you guys think so far, because Jermaine, he always looks a little bit sus, man. But even when Dr. Umar, gave the example with his family and the children, and how anyone or everyone doesn't automatically factors in your life because they're your sister, they're your brother, right? Because really and truly, it's not a must, right? Even mother and parents, because you have parents out there that give birth to a child and leave them, so they're not included in their child's life. So it's not an automatic slot for close family members. So beautiful example by Umar Johnson, man. Continue watching, because it's not finished, man. Continue to listen and watch what he has to say.
So when Mike goes solo after Jermaine and eclipses Jermaine's star, I'm sure that could be tough for any older brother to have to deal with. But don't get me wrong, Jermaine had a good career, though. If you look at his career art, he had a good career, man. He had some gold albums. He might have even had some platinum. Jermaine did a good job, bro. He had a good career. The problem, Art, is he's always being compared to Michael's success. Nobody has Michael's success. The Thriller album went 125 times platinum by the time Michael Jackson died. I don't even know how many more million it then sold. You know what I mean? You know how they say records are made to be broken? If you were to say there's one record that will never be broken, what is it? I would tell you it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. I don't think anybody ever, just like LeBron James broke Kareem's all-time scoring record and Usain Bolt, he broke the previous sprinters records that people never thought. I don't see nobody, Art. I don't think ever will there be someone whose album, not the single, the whole album goes more than 125 times platinum. I don't think that ever gets broken. I think Michael Jackson has the one record that will never be replaced. Thriller.
Yeah, I don't see nobody beating that, man. I mean, you got to keep in mind that this is at a time where people actually had to go to the stores and get the music. So, come on, man. Nobody beating that.
Right, you had to go buy the album. You had to go buy the cassette. It wasn't on Amazon. It wasn't brought to your door or none of that. You had to go buy it. But I will say this, though, Art. The way they doing streaming now, they're trying to equate streams to songs. But it's kind of tricky, though. Because like you said, Art, you had to get up and go buy the album as opposed to just clicking it on your phone. And with a stream, you don't have to buy the whole album. You feel me? You could just get songs. So how do you really compare somebody today to somebody back then where you had to buy the whole album to listen to the music? Whereas today, you could just pick and choose the songs you want. So I don't even know if you can compare the two. I don't even think it's a fair comparison. Because I saw something where they said Chris Brown has passed Michael Jackson for like streaming or something. But I'm like, and I love Chris Brown. I'm a Chris Brown fan.
Makes sense. Because I mean, Michael, he even had streams in this era.
That's what I'm saying. You can't really compare the two. That's what I'm saying. And shout out to Chris Brown, tremendous entertainer. You know what I mean? But you can't compare nobody to Mike, bro. You can't. You just can't. And it's funny because all the Mikes are like that too. Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson. Something about the Mikes, boy. They one of a kinds, bro. They one of a kinds.
Facts, man. Like, that is what I was telling you guys, man. Michael Jackson is a literal superstar. He's the biggest superstar, right? And when it comes on to the record, man, like, I also agree. I don't see no one to compete with that, man. And the simple fact that people had to go and buy it, like, just imagine if it was a time where all you had to do was click on your phone. The record would even be more higher and greater. The bar would be probably 2 times or 3 times. Like, who to tell, man? Like, Michael Jackson was so big. So, like, I don't think I have the words, man. Like, those records, or even that specific record, his impact, his status as an entertainer, as an artist, like, I don't see no one who's coming close, much less passing or breaking or even tying the record. I don't see no one. I don't see absolutely no one. So I definitely gotta agree with Umar Johnson, man. And that is why I say, hate him or love him, he's gonna come with some very interesting points. And a lot of times it is true, man. I see people talking about the school. Dr. Umar, man, you need to speak on the school, but I'm not going to even talk about that. But as I said, he's going to come with some very interesting points. And that is what I really respect about Umar Johnson, man. So I want you guys to really let me know what you think about it. Really let me know your thoughts on perspective, because Michael Jackson, he said it himself that labels and those companies are a trap. You know, he said it himself. Prince said it. So much artists said it. So much artists said it. And I believe it's way more known about now. But as I said, they still paint the narrative that you can't be successful through or in the music industry on your own. Right? When Tory went ahead and, you know, did that thing where he sold his stuff for $1 and made so much money, coincidentally, you know, stuff happened that placed him in prison. Right? As I use the word coincidentally, because that's a whole nother conversation. Right? So they paint this narrative and place the system in place to make it a trap for artists that decide to go on their own. And I'm not saying you can't, but they make it seem like you can't be successful on your own. And you definitely can. You definitely can, man. So this video was very interesting. I definitely learned a few things. I hope you guys also learned a few things, man, because very interesting points. Once again, let me know your thoughts, let me know your perspective. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Drop a like and subscribe, show some love. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I want to say remember to have an amazing day. Have an amazing time. If you're not having an amazing time as yet, well, make it amazing right this second. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is a boy, Premium Celeb, and as usual, I'm out.